Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Eternal series that came out way back in 2008, 2009, and how it ends on very poorly for him, because this was a fantastic series. It started off great, but it probably had to deal with poor sales. So what happens in this issue, we're going to cover issues 7 through 9, written by Charles and Daniel Knauf and Fred Van Lente. These writers just really rushed to finish the story. Like they wanted to finish the main story arc, and feels really choppy and very abruptly. And I feel like the X-Men pop up and as guests. For me, they appear in the series just to give a little bump in sales, try to save the title, because they don't really play much of like they're fighting alongside the Eternals, but they don't add much to the story. And the shame is that they actually introduced some really interesting concepts within the mythos of Marvel, and they're explored very quickly. Not much is very explained, so it leaves a sort of sour taste in the mouth, in the reader's mouth, because a lot of potential for some pretty awesome stories to these ideas. So Cersei, in the previous story arc, sacrifices her life to save Makari. Actually gives him her body so he can live, because since he was the envoy of the dreaming celestial, if he wasn't on Earth, it was going to bring the end of days. Her consciousness pops up in this place. It's like a bar. This is editions in Spanish, so I'm not sure if the place is called the bar or the lobby. But thing is, this is the place where, seemingly what it appears is the place where eternal souls go between deaths and have to wait until their body's regenerated. If this doesn't happen, there's another door, which it's implied that that's the eternal afterlife, and there's a bartender there. And if I'm correct, the bartender, because my memory is terrible and I read this last week, I think the bartender's name is actually Kirby, obviously reference to Jack Kirby. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments below. I'm pretty sure about this little detail there. So we have Icarus. He's all bent out of shape, wants to take down the evil eternal Druig once and for all. So he goes to Druig's European country that he had taken over, starts battling with all the evil Eternals. Actually, not all of them are evil. Some seem to be brainwashed or something like that. So Icarus thinks that he's the one, Druig's the one responsible for sending Gilgamesh to the Eternal City and destroying the resurrection machine, which obviously means that once Eternal dies, they're not going to come back. All this happens. The Dreaming Celestial seems to have developed somewhat of a conscience and a personality. He wants to help the people of Earth, because what we discovered in the previous arc is that the origins and of what the Celestials' purpose in their existence, which was certain retconned away by Jason Aaron, that really pissed me off. There's two retcons that really pissed me off. The Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are not Magneto's children. In my mind, that didn't take place. They're still his kids. And the retconning of all of the Celestials' backstory with Jason Aaron, I really didn't like that. Don't get me wrong, I really love Jason Aaron's work in general, but his run on the Avengers, I really didn't like it. His latest run. The Dreaming Celestial is out around Jupiter. There's this group called the Horde, because if the Eternal, when they judge Earth or the planet that they've colonized with intelligent life, has more of an eternal imprint, like the Eternals are the dominant species, the planet's harvested for the Celestials. If it has more of a deviant imprint on the planet, it's consumed by the Horde. So the Dreaming Celestial, when Makari seemingly died, put out the judgment. The Horde is on its way, but the Dreaming Celestial realizes this is a mistake, so he goes out into deep space, tries to stop him. So, Icarus, since he's sort of gone rogue from the rest of the Eternals, he's teamed up with the X-Men. During this time, they're in San Francisco. They had to establish themselves first on a base called Grey Malakin, and then after that on Utopia. So we get this epic battle between the evil Eternals and Icarus and the X-Men, all battling it out. While, again, the real story is really in this part, the Dreaming Celestial trying to negotiate with the Horde to say, hey guys, don't go to this planet. It's dangerous for you to just think it over. And in the final issue, which we have the X-Men on the cover, but they sort of peace out in the first couple of pages. So it's the end of the world. The Horde is on its way. The Horde tell the Dreaming Celestial, don't intervene. You're breaking the rules, and the Fulcrum's going to get really pissed off. So we discovered there's the existence of this being called the Fulcrum. He seems to be like the supreme being above the Celestials. Not sure if he's on the same level of the one above all, or if he's the one above all. That's not explored. But he's the arbiter between the Celestials and the Horde. And sadly, he's not, at least to my knowledge, the concept of Fulcrum has not been revisited after this. So Icarus and Druig joins forces to fight against the Horde. All the Eternals do. All that battle that happened previously between Icarus and Druig just meant nothing. We have the Eternals decide to make peace with each other. They join, they create this energy brain of all their powers together called the Unimind, and they actually take the Dreaming Celestial as a host. We get this epic battle between the Dreaming Celestial against the Horde, and Dream Celestial, his consciousness sort of pops up in the bar, in the lobby. They have a little chat with the Fulcrum, and the Fulcrum is actually sort of happy. He's like, you've achieved the next stage of your evolution. Finally, someone has evolved to my level, and in your decision, you've overcome your basic programming. You've saved humanity, and that's sort of what I wanted you guys to do, is like to break the rules. So when this happens, basically the story ends. We don't see what happens to the Horde, what happens to the Eternal. It just cuts off and ends very abruptly, and it's finished up in 3 pages. Like, when you see this, you think that you're gonna get like at least 5 more issues exploring this whole situation, but no, it finishes in 3 pages. It's a real shame. The concept of Fulcrum, what happens to the Dreaming Celestial, diving deeper into the Celestial mythos and the Eternals mythos would have been fascinating, but no, it's forgotten, left behind. And that's all I have to say about this. So, hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.